Hey, I'm Chris Wilson Smith. I'm here to talk to you today about one of my favorite shows, Game of Thrones. If you have not heard about it, it is one of the hottest shows on TV. Right now it's on the off season, but let me take you back to where it started. So, it's this whole fight around this city called Westeros. It's this huge landmass. Everyone's fighting to get there. Alright, why are they fighting for it? Because everybody wants to be, one, wearing this crown, and second, they want people to bend the knee. Bend the knee is the equivalent of bow down, bitches. Alright, so, one of my favorite quotes in Game of Thrones is, I drink and I know things. I do drink and I also know Game of Thrones. So, let's start with some of the character breakdowns. So we have Jon Snow, who's this really hot guy, right? So he's the underdog. He was the bastard out of like 6 kids for this person who was going to eventually be king. So he has these 2 sisters. One who, she was just super sweet, kind of tomboyish. She ended up becoming like one of the best killers, I guess, in Westeros. She can like put on people's faces. She'll like skin you alive. His other sister, she was in love with the actual king's son named Joffrey. So this person is like, oh my goodness. When you think of Hannibal Lecter, all of that, like that's who this person is. But, okay, let's take it back one step. So we have this family. They're called the Starks, right? So the Starks are like the baseline of the whole story. You can't do anything without the Starks knowing. But you also have like Highgarden and all these other folks that really aren't important for the first episode. But one of the things that I want you to know is that everyone, or one of the quotes is, winter is coming. So the idea through this whole 8 years, I guess, or 8 seasons, is that winter is coming. Which means winter brings death and it brings cold. So there's these creatures that I just can't avoid talking about. They're called the White Walkers. They're these blue men. They have a general who, of course, wears a crown. Because if you're fabulous, you're just going to wear a crown. They can actually raise the dead. I mean, from dragons to lions to bears. If it was dead, they can control it. So, the idea is that once again, they're all fighting for this throne. But so are the White Walkers, who are like powerful. They really have no limit to their power. So now the fight is against, not just for the throne, but the living versus the dead. Crazy though, right? But when you think about it, can the dead actually lose? Like, what are they going to do? Die? Yeah, not really. They don't die. But the living now everyone has to bend the knee for one person so they can have a leader. Everybody has to bow down to the queen, bee or he, so they can ultimately beat the dead. I'm looking forward to telling you more about what Game of Thrones entails, what it's going to look like, who's going to die, who's going to live, in our future stories to come. So until then, I'm Chris Wilson Smith, and this is not just about Game of Thrones. This is Brothers in Westeros. Talk to you soon.
Oh, I would have